Peites of Likkutei Torah Sefer Bamidbar. We're in a mimer on Parshas Maasei. So Maasei means journeys, and the mimer explains how the journeys are the spiritual journeys of lifting us with yearning and desire towards Hashem, and whereas we're going to explain that the camping is the resting between the journeys. That's the shuv, that's Hashem, so to speak, Hashem's light descending down to us. So now, first of all, he explains how within each sphere, within each of the emotional attributes, you have all the other emotional attributes. For example, within love, there's also reverence and fear. The fear is that you'll separate yourself from your beloved through certain behavior that the beloved doesn't like. And then we also have Tiferes, with beauty, which is associated in Kabbalah with Rahmanos, with mercy, because the realizing how far the neshama descended down away from Hashem in order to be with us makes us appreciate Hashem and love Hashem so much by letting His presence descend down so far in order to help us and create us. And then continuing with Netzach and Hod. Netzach is the victory and the commitment that even when we're not inspired just to plod along, to keep going. Similarly, Hod is the humility that not to let obstacles affect us, and to admit, even when we don't feel it, but to admit that this is the real truth. We admit that the real thing is Hashem. Then Yesod is that bonding, and therefore we have within the seven midas we have within the 6 minutes we have 7 parts, and therefore altogether 42, and that's the 42 journeys. Similarly, in Yira, in reverence, he explains how it has all the other spheres within it. That there's the that we accept Hashem's yoke of rulership out of love, and that's the love within the reverence, and etc. And then similarly, we have all the other midas within Gevura as well, within reverence and discipline as well. Okay, now Gimel. On the other hand, that's all when we're ascending up, then that the number 42 is appropriate, 6 times 7. On the other hand, we're bringing Hashem's light down, then the number 49 is appropriate, because when we're going up, so then we're trying to get away from just sort of a limited godly energy where we are. We're trying to rise above that, and therefore we're rising above Malchus as it is in the lower worlds. Therefore, it's only 7 times 6. Whereas when we bring down, we're trying to bring Hashem's presence down everywhere, and therefore 7 times 7, all the way till Malchus. Now we have Moshe and Aaron. So Moshe is the one who brings Hashem down, and Aaron's the one who brings us up, and that also relates to travels, which is bringing us up, versus rest, which is bringing Hashem down, so to speak. And this is also associated with reyach, with smell, which smell is something we don't quite take in. We don't, because it's beyond us, but and therefore bring that down represents bringing down what is the godliness, the godly energy, which is beyond us. Now, then there's a beer, an explanation on this mimer. It starts off with discussing what does it mean that when Mashiach comes, Eretz Yisrael will spread throughout all the lands? And what it means is that there's a certain spiritual energy in Eretz Yisrael, which is called a Malchus Yetzirah energy. It's from the world of Yetzirah, which is above our world of Asiyah, of action. And that's because although Eretz Yisrael is also part of our physical world, but the godly energy in Eretz Yisrael passes through Asiyah without getting affected, without taking on a materialistic perspective, and therefore it's still Yetzirah energy. Whereas out of Eretz Yisrael, so then there's much more independence from Hashem, so to speak, and that's how it feels, how it seems, and it's the feel of that it's my power that created whatever successes I had, and therefore that's almost like idolatry. Whereas when Mashiach comes, even in Chutz La'aretz, even out of Eretz Yisrael, there'll be a sense that that everything is Hashem, and therefore that's what it means that Eretz Yisrael will spread out through the entire world. Then he explains how Eretz Yisrael itself will be higher still, and even greater godly energy, with exactly which Kabbalistic level of godly light will be manifest then when Mashiach comes. He also says that perhaps Alter Rebbe also explains that perhaps the level of godliness when Mashiach comes will be like the level of godliness before the sin of the fruit of the tree of knowledge, the Chetei Tzadas. And the pasuk, there's a pasuk in Baloischa which we say it's in the paragraph Ayibin Saya. We say when the Aaron traveled, the Aaron led the Jewish people in their travels, and it says Kum Hashem, get up Hashem, and this represents the lifting of godly energy upward, and that the name Yud Kei Vav Kei, the Yud is Chachma, the Hey is Bina. So we have the conception of an idea, then the development of the idea, then the emotional attributes, and then Malchus, which is bringing it to speech and action. And all of them are hinted in Hashem's name, that those are the 4 steps and the 4 letters of Hashem's name. Also, the 4 letters represent the 4 worlds. And Moshe is bringing godliness down, whereas Aaron is bringing it up. And therefore we have both Rotzi and Shuv, which are the 2 wings of the angels. Both Rotzi, that is our desire for Hashem, and then Shuv, us coming down to get what Hashem wants in this world done.